Hello, dreamer. Close your eyes, but not yet. First, let your breath settle like snow on a still lake. Wherever you are, whether curled tight or stretched starfish wide, know that others are breathing with you tonight. If this story finds you in a quiet corner of the world, a dim room, a restless bed, a city still humming, whisper it in the comments. Let's map this little drift of tales across the night. Tonight, we step into the Lighthouse of Wandering Winds. A spiral lighthouse where each level captures a different breeze that hums through crystalline chambers. When you're ready, let the weight of today dissolve into the hum of distant constellations. You find yourself standing on a shore where moonlight turns sand into powdered silver. The ocean breathes against the coastline in slow, hypnotic waves, each one whispering secrets in a language older than memory. Above you, stars scatter like salt across velvet darkness. But your attention draws towards something impossible rising from crystalline cliffs ahead. A lighthouse spirals upward into the night sky. But this isn't any ordinary beacon. Its walls shimmer with translucent glass that seems to pulse gently, as if the entire structure inhales starlight and exhales dreams. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips would welcome your touch. You somehow know, even from this distance. The tower curves in an elegant spiral, each level catching moonbeams differently, creating layers of soft luminescence that dance up its impossible height. As ocean breezes carry you closer, you hear something extraordinary. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs, emanating from within the lighthouse itself. The sound isn't quite music, but something more ancient and soothing, as if captured breezes have learned to sing lullabies through chambers of living glass. Each gust that touches the structure creates new harmonies, layering melodies that seem to resonate in your bones. The air around you shifts, carrying salt air braided with forgotten lavender, a scent that speaks of journeys across distant meadows and endless ocean crossings. This fragrance wraps around you like a gentle embrace, promising that whatever waits within this lighthouse will carry you far from the weight of ordinary thoughts. Your feet begin moving toward the tower without conscious decision, drawn by an irresistible curiosity about what winds might be captured within those glowing chambers. Each step across the cool sand feels lighter than the last, as if the lighthouse's strange gravity is already beginning to lift burdens you didn't know you carried. The structure looms larger as you approach, revealing details that defy logic, yet feel perfectly natural in this dreamlike space. Spiral windows trace the tower's ascent, each one glowing softly from within, suggesting chambers filled with collected breezes waiting to tell their stories. At the lighthouse's base, a weathered door stands slightly ajar, beckoning you toward mysteries that promise to carry you gently into the deepest, most peaceful sleep. Time stutters softly as you blink, and for just a moment, the lighthouse seems to lean closer, as if eager to welcome you into its embrace of wandering winds and captured dreams. The weathered door stands slightly ajar, beckoning you toward mysteries. As approaching the lighthouse, you hear melodic humming as different winds move through its translucent chambers. Each level produces its own ethereal tone, like wind chimes made of crystallized sighs floating through the salt-kissed air. The structure rises impossibly tall, its spiral form catching moonlight in ways that make the glass seem alive. As you draw closer, the lighthouse's walls pulse with a gentle rhythm. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips, even from a distance. The sensation reminds you of touching a sleeping giant's chest, feeling each slow, deliberate breath. The crystalline surface ripples with captured breezes, creating patterns that shift and dance like aurora trapped in solid form. The melodic humming grows richer with each step. Higher chambers sing in crystalline soprano notes, while lower levels hum in deeper, more resonant tones. Together, they create a symphony of captured wind, each breeze transformed into music the moment it enters the lighthouse's embrace. The sound wraps around you like a lullaby made of glass and starlight. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender drifts from the structure's base, where ancient stones meet the crystalline walls. This scent carries memories of distant meadows where these winds once danced freely, before being called to this sacred collection. The lavender speaks of summer afternoons that existed long before you were born, preserved now in the lighthouse's eternal breath. You notice how the lighthouse seems to inhale the ocean's rhythm, drawing in the night breeze through invisible pores in its glass skin. With each gentle inhalation, the humming grows softer, more intimate. With each exhale, the crystalline chambers glow brighter, as if the structure feeds on wind itself. The spiral staircase visible through the translucent walls beckons upward, promising chambers filled with breezes from every corner of the world. Each level holds different winds, different songs, different fragments of dreams, carried on air currents from lands you've never seen. As you blink, time stutters for just a moment. The wind chimes made of crystallized sighs shift their melody slightly, offering a preview of the endless variations awaiting discovery. The lighthouse isn't just a structure, it's a living archive of the world's breath, and you sense it's been waiting for you. Your hand reaches toward the weathered door at the lighthouse's base, where salt air braided with forgotten lavender grows stronger, and the cool glass that breathes against your fingertips promises entry into this sanctuary of wandering winds. The door handle feels warm despite the night air, as if touched by countless other dreamers who've answered this same irresistible call to explore the chambers where wind becomes song. The door handle turns beneath your palm, and you realize this lighthouse doesn't guide ships. It gathers the world's forgotten breezes in glass prisons that sing. The revelation sails over you like discovering a secret the ocean has kept for centuries. Each chamber above pulses with captured wind, and you understand now why the structure feels so alive, so purposeful in its strange beauty. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips as you trace the lighthouse's foundation reveals tiny channels carved into the crystalline walls. These aren't decorative, they're arteries through which the collected winds flow, creating an intricate circulatory system that feeds each level above. The surface warms slightly under your touch, responding to your presence like a sleeping animal, recognizing a friend. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs drift down from the upper chambers, each note carrying the essence of its captured breeze. A mountain wind sings in deep blue tones, while a meadow breeze hums in golden frequencies. The sounds layer and weave together, creating a symphony that seems to emanate from the lighthouse's very bones. You close your eyes and let the music wash over you, feeling tensions you didn't know you carried begin to dissolve. Salt air, braided with forgotten lavender, grows stronger as you stand in the lighthouse's shadow. But now you detect other scents woven into this base fragrance, hints of pine forests, sun-warmed stone, rain-soaked earth. Each captured wind has brought its own aromatic memory, and they mingle here at the lighthouse's base like old friends, sharing stories of distant places. The door before you isn't ordinary wood or metal. It's made of the same breathing glass as the walls, but frosted so you can barely see through. As you step closer, you notice it has no handle, no obvious mechanism for opening. Instead, it seems to respond to intention, to the gentle pressure of your approach. Just as you reach toward the mysterious entrance, time stutters when you blink, and the door's surface ripples like water touched by wind. The lighthouse inhales deeply around you, all its captured breezes singing in harmony, and you understand that you're about to cross a threshold into something far more magical than mere architecture. The weathered door waits patiently for your touch, and you feel an irresistible pull to discover. Standing before the lighthouse entrance, you pause at the threshold where ancient wood meets crystalline stone. The door itself seems carved from driftwood that has weathered countless storms. Its surface smooth as river stones beneath your palm. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips traces the doorframe, pulsing gently with each captured breeze that moves through the tower above. The door stands slightly ajar, revealing glimpses of the spiral staircase within. Through the gap, you hear the lighthouse's constant symphony. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs echo from chambers high above, each note hanging in the air like suspended dewdrops before dissolving into the next. The melody draws you forward with irresistible gentleness, promising discoveries that await in the tower's ascending heart. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender drifts through the opening, carrying with it the essence of winds that have traveled impossible distances to reach this place. The scent tells stories of meadows you've never seen, oceans you've only dreamed of, and skies that exist somewhere between memory and imagination. Each breath fills you with growing certainty that crossing this threshold will change something fundamental about the way you understand peace. Your hand finds the door handle, worn smooth by countless visitors who have answered the same mysterious call. The metal feels warm, despite the cool night air, as if heated by the accumulated wonder of all who have passed through before you. As you prepare to step inside, time holds its breath alongside the lighthouse's gentle rhythm. The weathered door swings open with a whisper, revealing stairs that spiral upward into luminous mystery. You cross the threshold onto smooth stone stairs that curve gently upward through the tower's heart. Each step releases a whisper of sound, wind chimes made of crystallized sighs echoing softly from chambers above. The lighthouse welcomes you with walls of cool glass that breathes against your fingertips, pulsing in rhythm with something ancient and patient. Salt air, braided with forgotten lavender, drifts down the spiral stairway, carrying stories of distant shores where these winds once danced. Your hand trails along the curved wall as you climb, feeling the lighthouse inhale slowly, Then exhale with a musical sigh that seems to say, finally, someone has come to listen. The stairs themselves seem alive, worn smooth by countless breezes that have travelled this path before you. Each stone holds warmth from winds that have touched desert sands, mountain peaks, and meadows full of sleeping flowers. As you ascend, the crystallized sighs grow more complex, layering into harmonies that make your chest feel lighter. Time moves differently here. When you blink, the wind chimes pause for just a heartbeat, as if the lighthouse is savoring your presence. The cool glass that breathes against your fingertips grows warmer with each step, responding to your touch like a friend recognizing an old companion. Above you, the spiral continues into soft shadows where other chambers wait, each one humming with its own collection of wandering winds. The salt air, braided with forgotten lavender, grows stronger, pulling you upward with invisible threads of scent and memory. Your footsteps create no echo, only the gentle response of glass breathing deeper, welcoming you further into its crystalline embrace. The lighthouse seems to recognize something in you, something that belongs to the spaces between dreams. As you climb toward the first chamber, the wind chimes made of crystallized sighs seem to whisper a question. What wind brought you here? But before you can answer, you notice something extraordinary about the walls around you. The cool glass that breathes against your fingertips begins to step into the first chamber, where captured breezes dance through translucent walls. The air here carries impossible warmth, as if summer meadows have exhaled their sweetest breath and somehow found their way to this coastal tower. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips pulses gently as you trail your hand along the curved wall, feeling the rhythm of wind moving through crystalline passages. The chamber fills with wind chimes made of crystallized sighs, each note pure and haunting, like musical memories suspended in glass. These aren't ordinary chimes, but something far more ethereal, created when gentle exhalations transform into delicate crystal formations that sing when touched by passing air. The melody wraps around you, soft and hypnotic. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender drifts through the space, carrying you back to childhood summers you might have dreamed rather than lived. The scent mingles ocean spray with phantom wildflowers, creating an impossible bouquet that exists only in this lighthouse of collected winds. As you breathe deeper, the meadow wind seems to recognize you, swirling closer like a curious cat. It brushes against your arms with the gentleness of silk scarves, warm and welcoming. The glass walls around you glow faintly, responding to the wind's movement with soft phosphorescence. You realize this wind has traveled impossibly far, across continents and seasons, to reach this chamber. It carries whispers of places that exist beyond maps, meadows that bloom in dreams, flowers that grow only in the space between sleeping and waking. The spiral staircase beckons from the chamber's far side, promising more winds, more chambers, more impossible breezes, waiting to be discovered. Each step ahead feels lighter than the last, as if the meadow wind is already beginning to lift the weight from your shoulders. Time stutters gently as you blink, and for a moment the wind patterns shift, offering new melodies, new scents, new textures against your skin. The chamber rearranges itself subtly, like a kaleidoscope of air and light. Your breathing slows to match the lighthouse's rhythm, inhaling peace, exhaling everything that no longer serves you. The meadow wind continues its eternal dance, patient and endless, waiting to carry you higher into the tower's spiraling embrace. The warm breeze whispers promises of chambers yet to come, each holding different winds from impossible places. You feel ready to continue climbing, to discover what other breezes this lighthouse has captured from the edges of the world. The next level calls to you softly, its own unique song already audible above, a cooler melody that speaks of the lighthouse walls pulse gently around you, each crystalline surface expanding and contracting like the ribs of some magnificent sleeping giant. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips welcomes your touch as you trail your hand along the curved inner wall, feeling the rhythm of captured winds flowing through chambers above and below. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs echo softly from every level, creating a symphony that seems to emanate from the glass itself. The sound grows stronger with each pulse, as if the lighthouse is teaching you its ancient breathing pattern. Slow, deep, perfectly peaceful. So air braided with forgotten lavender drifts down from the higher chambers, mixing with the seaside breeze that first drew you to this shore. The scent carries stories of distant meadows where these winds once danced through purple flowers before finding their way to this collector of wandering airs. You realize the entire structure is alive in the most gentle way imaginable. Not alive like an animal or plant, but alive like breath itself. Essential, rhythmic, eternal. Each inhale draws ocean mist up through the tower's base, while each exhale sends transformed air spiraling through the glass chambers above. The walls seem to recognize your presence. They're pulsing, synchronizing gradually with your own heartbeat. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips grows warmer wherever you touch, as if welcoming you into its slow, meditative rhythm. As you pause to absorb this revelation, you feel your eyelids growing heavy. Time stutters gently when you blink, and for just a moment, the lighthouse's breathing pauses too. In that suspended instant, you glimpse something extraordinary. The glass walls become completely transparent, revealing winds from 1,000 different places swirling in perfect harmony. When time resumes its flow, the vision fades but the magic remains. You understand now that you're not just climbing through a building, you're ascending through the very breath of the world itself. The stairs continue their gentle curve upward, and with each step, your own breathing grows deeper, calmer, more aligned with the lighthouse's eternal rhythm. The next chamber calls to you softly, promising even deeper mysteries. The next chamber calls to you softly, promising each step upward feels lighter as you become entranced by the symphony of breezes weaving around you. The lighthouse seems to recognize your presence, its crystalline walls pulsing with gentle welcome. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips responds to your touch, warming slightly as if acknowledging your journey. The spiral staircase curves gracefully ahead, each stone step worn smooth like countless winds that have danced across its surface. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs echo from chambers above and below, creating layers of melody that seem to lift your very soul. The sound grows richer with each ascending step, harmonies building like a celestial orchestra, tuning for an eternal performance. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender grows stronger here, carried on currents that spiral through the lighthouse's heart. This scent speaks of journeys across vast oceans and through meadows that exist only in dreams, winds that have witnessed sunrises over distant mountains and moonlight on forgotten shores. Your earthbound concerns feel increasingly distant, as if they're being gently unwound from your shoulders with each breath. The lighthouse's rhythm becomes your rhythm, inhaling peace, exhaling everything that weighs you down. Gravity itself seems negotiable here, where captured winds teach the laws of physics to bend and dance. Above you, more chambers await, each one humming with its own collected breeze, each one promising new discoveries. The stairway spirals endlessly upward, an invitation written in stone and glass, beckoning you toward mysteries that shimmer just beyond sight. Time stutters gently as you blink, and for a moment the wind patterns shift and rearrange, offering glimpses of chambers that weren't there before. The lighthouse breathes deeper, and you sense infinite possibilities unfolding like petals in the crystalline air. Each heartbeat carries you higher. Each breath makes you lighter, until you feel as if you're ascending not just through space, but through layers of consciousness itself. The very stones beneath your feet seem to whisper encouragement, urging you toward whatever waits in the luminous chambers above. The spiral staircase beckons with increasing. The spiral stairs seem to extend infinitely above, promising endless chambers of collected winds to explore. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips guides you upward along the curved wall, each surface pulsing with gentle life. The crystalline structure inhales starlight through its translucent walls, exhaling silver mist that carries the salt air braided with forgotten lavender, a scent that speaks of distant shores and meadows that exist only in memory. Above you, the stairway curves into shadow and moonbeam, each step once smoothed by countless dreamers who have climbed before. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs drift down from the upper levels, their ethereal notes growing more complex as they layer upon each other. The melody pulls you forward with invisible threads, promising discoveries that your waking mind could never imagine. As you ascend, the lighthouse seems to recognize your presence. The breathing glass grows warmer beneath your touch, welcoming you deeper into its spiral embrace. Each level above hums with different frequencies, some deep as ocean currents, others light as butterfly wings. The salt air braided with forgotten lavender grows stronger, as if the winds themselves are eager to share their collected stories. You pause on a landing where moonlight streams through a circular window, casting moving patterns on the stairs ahead. The wind chimes made of crystallized sighs seem to whisper your name, though you're certain you never spoke it aloud. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips pulses faster now, matching the anticipation building in your chest. The stairway curves into mystery, and you find yourself wondering not how high it reaches, but how deep into dreams it might carry you. Each step feels like stepping through time itself, moving closer to something ancient and peaceful that waits in the lighthouse's crown. Time stutters when you blink, and for a moment the stairs seem to rearrange themselves, offering new paths to explore. But the invitation remains constant, to climb higher, to discover what winds dance in the chambers that await above. Your daily worries begin dissolving like as you climb higher through the lighthouse's spiral heart. Each step carries you further from the weight of ordinary concerns. The cool glass breathes against your fingertips as you steady yourself on the crystalline walls, their surface pulsing with the rhythm of captured winds. Your palm traces the smooth curves, feeling how the structure inhales starlight and exhales serenity. The wind chimes made of crystallized sighs grow more complex here, layering melodies that seem to lift thoughts from your mind like autumn leaves caught in gentle currents. Each note dissolves a worry. Each harmony carries away the day's accumulated tensions. The sound wraps around you like silk, transforming anxiety into wonder. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender fills your lungs, the scent growing richer with each breath. It's as if the lighthouse is teaching you a new way to breathe, deeper, slower, releasing what no longer serves. The lavender whispers of peaceful meadows you've never seen but somehow remember, while the salt reminds you of vast horizons where troubles become tiny specks. Above, the stairs continue their graceful ascent, promising chambers filled with winds from places that exist only in dreams. Your earthbound thoughts feel lighter now, less solid, beginning to transform into something more like mist than stone. As you blink, time stutters gently, and for just a moment, you feel yourself becoming part of the lighthouse's ancient rhythm. The sensation is so peaceful that you almost forget why you ever worried about anything at all. The spiral stairs curve onward, beckoning you toward chambers where mountain breezes dance through. You ascend to where blue glass walls curve like frozen ocean waves, each surface etched with spiraling patterns that catch moonlight and scatter it into azure fragments. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips pulses with a rhythm slower than your heartbeat, as if the chamber itself dreams in deep, measured breaths. The mountain breeze trapped here moves differently than the meadow wind below, sharper, cleaner, carrying the crystalline clarity of high altitudes where air grows thin and thoughts grow clear. It flows through formations of sapphire glass shaped like wind harps, creating those familiar wind chimes made of crystallized sighs, but now pitched higher, more ethereal, like the sound of snow falling on still water. Each breath you take brings that signature scent of salt air, braided with forgotten lavender. But here, it's touched with something new, the crisp bite of mountain pine and the metallic taste of altitude. The combination makes your lungs feel suddenly vast, as if they could hold entire weather systems. As you trail your fingers along the sapphire walls, the glass responds to your touch, warming slightly before returning to its cool, breathing rhythm. The chamber seems to recognize you, welcoming you into its collection of high-altitude dreams and wind-carved memories. The mountain breeze circles around you now, lifting the edges of your clothing, tousling your hair with invisible fingers that smell of snowmelt and ancient stone. You feel lighter here, as if gravity itself has been diluted by the thin air that once swept across distant peaks. Through the blue glass, you can see the next level beckoning above, its amber glow promising warmer winds and different dreams. But for now, you rest in this sapphire sanctuary, letting the mountain breeze carry away another layer of earthbound concerns. You blink slowly, savoring the crystalline music, and time stutters gently, the wind patterns shifting like a kaleidoscope of sound and sensation, offering new configurations of peace. The sapphire chamber holds you in its cool embrace as you prepare to continue climbing toward the amber warmth that glows softly overhead, promising desert winds and golden dreams. The emerald glass pulses with forest secrets as you climb higher, each step revealing new chambers where captured breezes hold the world's forgotten memories. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips tells stories older than the lighthouse itself. Winds that have traveled across continents, gathering whispers from places that exist only in dreams now. You pause at a crystalline archway where amber light dances through translucent walls. The breeze here carries something different, something that makes your heart recognize what your mind cannot name. These aren't just random currents of air. They're the exhaled hopes of sleeping children, the last breath of summer evenings, the gentle sighs of lovers separated by oceans. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs ring softly as a warm current moves past your face, and suddenly you understand. Each breeze holds emotional echoes, not your own memories, but universal feelings that every human soul has touched. The lighthouse doesn't just collect air, it preserves the moments when wind became poetry. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender grows stronger here, mixed now with the scent of rain on warm pavement, of bread baking in distant kitchens, of your grandmother's garden that bloomed decades before you were born. These memories aren't yours, yet they feel like coming home. As you breathe deeply, the winds begin to breathe through you too. Your exhale joins their ancient circulation, adding your own quiet wonder to the lighthouse's collection. You realize that you're not just observing this place, you're becoming part of its eternal conversation between earth and sky. The spiral staircase curves ahead, promising deeper mysteries, and you feel your earthly concerns lifting away like dandelion seeds on these memory-laden breezes. Time stutters gently as you blink, and when your eyes open, the wind patterns have shifted into new harmonies that speak of tomorrow's peace. The lighthouse inhales your wonder and exhales. Desert wind whispers through golden glass, bringing warmth and the ancient wisdom of sun-baked stone. The amber chambers glow like captured sunlight, each surface smooth as polished honey beneath your palm. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips pulses with slower rhythms here, matching the patient heartbeat of endless dunes. Wind chimes, made of crystallized sighs, ring deeper in this level, their notes warm and resonant, like distant temple bells. The sound carries stories of caravans that crossed impossible distances, of mirages that shimmered with impossible truths. Each crystalline tone holds the memory of blazing noons and star-drunk nights. Salt air, braided with forgotten lavender, mingles now with something new, the ghost of cinnamon bark and sun-warmed sand. This wind has traveled from places where time moves differently, where shadows are precious and water sings lullabies to sleeping stones. You breathe deeply, tasting centuries on your tongue. The amber glass fractures sunlight into golden ribbons that dance across your skin. Each beam feels substantial, like silk scarves woven from liquid warmth. You realize this chamber doesn't just hold desert wind. It holds the patience of eternal things, the wisdom of stones that have watched empires rise and fall like breathing. Your eyelids grow heavy in the honeyed light. As you blink, time stutters. The golden ribbons shift and swirl, creating new patterns that spell out secrets in a language older than words. The amber walls begin to sing a lullaby that tastes of ancient spices and forgotten names. The warmth seeps into your bones, loosening tensions you didn't know you carried. This wind has crossed impossible distances to find you here, bringing gifts of patience and the deep calm of endless horizons. Your breath slows to match the chamber's rhythm. Through the amber glass, you glimpse other levels above. Emerald chambers where forest winds dance. Sapphire halls where mountain breezes play. But for now, you are content to rest in this golden moment, wrapped in desert dreams that shimmer like heat waves against skin that remembers the touch of cool glass breathing. The golden light grows softer, preparing to carry you higher toward chambers where wind chimes made of crystallized sighs. You pause on the amber-lit stairs, watching desert winds spiral through golden glass chambers. The walls pulse with captured heat, and you feel cool glass that breathes against your fingertips as you steady yourself on the crystalline banister. Something shifts in the lighthouse's rhythm, a hesitation in the eternal flow of breezes. You blink slowly, and in that moment of darkness, time stutters like a skipped heartbeat. When your eyes open, the wind patterns have rearranged themselves into new configurations. The wind chimes made of crystallized sighs now sing a different melody, their notes cascading in unfamiliar harmonies. What was once a gentle desert breeze, flowing clockwise through the amber chamber, now moves in spiraling figure eights, creating entirely new resonances as it touches the glass formations. You realize this lighthouse exists in dream time, where each blink offers fresh possibilities. The salt air braided with forgotten lavender grows stronger, as if the stuttered moment has awakened sleeping scents from winds that traveled here centuries ago. Some carry hints of ancient spice markets, others the green sweetness of rain-soaked meadows. The amber glass around you shifts its internal patterns, like honey with memories trapped inside. Each chamber holds not just one wind, but infinite variations of that wind. All the ways it might have blown, all the paths it could have taken across the world. You trail your fingers along the wall again, feeling how the cool glass that breathes against your fingertips now pulses with a slightly different rhythm. The lighthouse has reset itself, offering you a new experience of the same magical ascent. The wind chimes made of crystallized sighs seem to welcome this change, their tones growing more melodic as they adjust to the shifted air currents. You understand now that this tower exists outside linear time, where every moment can be revisited and reimagined. As you prepare to continue climbing, the salt air braided with forgotten lavender carries a whisper of anticipation. The next chamber awaits, and after another gentle blink, it too might reveal hidden variations you never noticed before. Time stutters when blinking, you realize, because this lighthouse breathes in moments and exhales infinite possibilities. The emerald chamber above begins to.
You step into a chamber where emerald glass curves like cathedral arches overhead. Forest breeze moves through green prisms, each one capturing whispers that ancient trees have shared across centuries of seasons. The air here feels different, thicker with wisdom, alive with the slow patience of growing things. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips pulses with a deeper rhythm here, matching the heartbeat of old-growth forests. You trail your hand along the curved walls, feeling how each breath of the lighthouse draws in secrets from distant woodlands, the conversations of leaves, the dreams of sleeping bears, the prayers of morning birds. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs create a symphony that sounds like branches swaying in perpetual twilight. The melody shifts between major and minor keys, sometimes bright as spring's first buds, sometimes deep as autumn's final exhale. Each note carries the memory of sunlight filtering through canopies you've never seen but somehow remember. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender mingles now with something earthier. The rich loam of forest floors, the green breath of ferns unfurling, the sweet decay of fallen logs becoming soil. This scent wraps around you like a woodland embrace, grounding you in nature's eternal cycle of growth and rest. The emerald prisms begin to shift and dance, each one holding a different shade of green. Jade winds from mountain forests, olive breezes from Mediterranean groves, the deep hunter green of northern pines. You watch these colors flow like liquid light through the glass, painting moving murals of every forest the winds have touched. Your breathing slows to match the chamber's ancient patience. Time moves differently here, measured not in seconds but in seasons, not in heartbeats but in the slow expansion of tree rings. You feel yourself becoming part of this time, this rhythm, your thoughts growing as quiet as snow falling on pine needles. As you blink, time stutters gently. The forest winds rearrange themselves, creating new patterns of emerald light. For a moment, you glimpse not just one forest, but all forests, connected by the wandering breezes that carry their essence to this impossible place. The green glass seems to lean closer, embracing you with its cool touch. You realize you could stay in this chamber forever, becoming one with the patient wisdom of trees. But the spiral staircase cools softly above, promising more mysteries yet to unfold. The emerald winds begin to whisper your name in a language made of rustling leaves. You begin understanding the lighthouse's communication. Each gust speaks in textures, temperatures, and scents that bypass words entirely. The cool glass breathes against your fingertips as you rest your palm against the chamber wall, feeling the pulse of captured winds flowing through crystalline veins like liquid music. A mountain breeze whispers past your ear, carrying the sharp clarity of snow-touched peaks, while desert winds spiral around your ankles with the warmth of sun-baked stones. Each current speaks its own dialect. The forest winds murmur in rustling syllables. The ocean breezes hum in salt spray consonants. The meadow winds sing in pollen-soft vowels. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs tinkle overhead as competing breezes negotiate their pathways through the prisms. The lighthouse has become a translator, teaching you to read the emotional signatures embedded in each moving air current. You close your eyes and inhale deeply, tasting stories written in atmospheric pressure and humidity. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender fills your lungs as you realize the winds aren't just moving, they're conversing, sharing memories of the places they've touched. A current that once caressed a wheat field whispers of golden afternoons, while another that danced through cherry blossoms carries the melancholy of brief spring beauty. Your own breath becomes part of this aerial conversation, adding your exhales to the symphony of sighs and songs. The lighthouse recognizes your presence, and the winds begin to respond to your movements, swirling gently around you like curious pets seeking attention. Time stutters as you blink, and suddenly you understand. The lighthouse doesn't just collect winds. It translates longing into language, transforms wandering into words that only the heart can truly comprehend. The spiral staircase beckons upward, where even deeper conversations wait to unfold between you and the wandering wind.
Another blink brings another gentle time stutter, allowing you to experience familiar chambers with fresh wonder. The moment your eyelids flutter closed, reality shivers like water disturbed by a fallen leaf. When they open, the emerald chamber has rearranged itself. The same forest winds now spiral through different glass formations, creating entirely new melodies from crystallized sighs. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips
pulses with renewed rhythm as you steady yourself against the wall. The lighthouse seems to exhale contentment, as if pleased by this temporal dance. Each reset offers not confusion, but deeper layers of the same peaceful dream. The wind chimes made of crystallized sighs now play a variation of their previous song. Familiar, yet fresh, like hearing a beloved melody performed by different instruments. Some notes ring higher, others deeper, but all maintain that ethereal quality that makes your shoulders release tension you didn't know you carried. Salt air, braided with forgotten lavender, shifts too. The lavender now tinged with something new, perhaps rosemary from Mediterranean hillsides, or jasmine from midnight gardens. The scent tells you these winds have journeyed even further than before, collecting new memories during the time stutter. You realize this is the lighthouse's gift, not just capturing winds, but allowing infinite ways to experience them. Each blink, each gentle reset, unveils another facet of the same perfect moment. Time becomes fluid here, bending like light through the crystalline walls. The spiral stairs shimmer ahead, inviting you to continue upward, knowing that each step forward might also be a step into a slightly different version of this same dream. Your hand trails along the wall, feeling how the cool glass that breathes against your fingertips seems to welcome your return, as if you've been away for years rather than the space between heartbeats. The convergence level awaits above, where multiple winds will spiral together in ways you haven't yet imagined. The wind chimes made of crystallized sighs grow softer as you climb, preparing your ears for even more sublime harmonies. As you ascend, the salt air braided with forgotten lavender seems to lift you gently, each breath lighter than the last, carrying you toward chambers where breath itself becomes. You step into a chamber where multiple winds spiral together in perfect harmony, their currents weaving through crystalline formations that pulse with soft opalescent light. The cool glass breathes against your fingertips as you trace the curved walls, feeling the gentle rhythm of captured breezes flowing beneath the surface like a lighthouse heartbeat. Here, the wind chimes, made of crystallized sighs, create their most complex melody yet. Mountain air singing alongside desert warmth, ocean spray dancing with forest whispers. Each breath carries the salt air, braided with forgotten lavender. But now there are deeper notes. Honey from meadows you've never seen, snow from peaks that exist only in dreams. The winds don't just pass through this chamber, they converge and separate in endless, mesmerizing spirals. You watch as a thread of cool morning breeze wraps around a ribbon of warm evening air, creating patterns that shift and flow like liquid light through the translucent walls. As you move deeper into the space, you feel yourself becoming part of their eternal dance. Your own breath begins to match their rhythm, slow, deep, peaceful. The lighthouse seems to recognize your presence, and the glass formations around you start to resonate with something deeper than sound, the quiet music of your own heartbeat. You reach toward one of the spiraling currents, and as your fingers nearly touch the invisible stream, you feel a gentle tug, as if the wind itself is inviting you to join its endless journey. The sensation is both thrilling and deeply calming, like being welcomed home by forces older than memory. Just as you're about to let yourself be swept into the spiral dance, you blink, and time stutters gently around you. The wind patterns shift, creating new pathways, new songs, and you realize this chamber offers infinite possibilities for peace. The converging breezes wrap around you like gentle arms,
lifting both body and consciousness higher, and you sense that something profound awaits in the chambers above, where all these wandering winds gather to create their most beautiful symphony. The spiral currents begin to lift you upward toward. The glass around you begins vibrating in tune with your heartbeat, creating perfect acoustic unity. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips pulses now with synchronized rhythm, matching the gentle percussion within your chest. Each chamber wall becomes a living instrument, responding to your presence with crystalline precision. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs harmonize in frequencies that seem to emerge from your very soul. The lighthouse recognizes you now, not as visitor, but as part of its eternal song. Your breath creates new melodies as it mingles with the captured breezes, weaving patterns of sound that have never existed before this moment. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender intensifies, becoming richer as your own memories blend with the wind's collected journeys. You smell summers from your childhood, ocean vacations that live only in dreams, gardens you've never walked through but somehow remember perfectly. The spiral staircase beneath your feet hums with sympathetic vibration. Each step creates ripples of resonance that travel up through the lighthouse's spine, announcing your ascent to the waiting chambers above. You are no longer climbing. You are being drawn upward by invisible threads of harmony. As you blink, time stutters gently, but now the reset feels like a musical phrase completing itself before beginning anew. The lighthouse's rhythm doesn't change. It simply allows you to hear different instruments in its endless orchestra. Each level reveals new voices joining the chorus that celebrates your presence. Your heartbeat, your breath, the lighthouse's pulse, and the wandering winds converge into something greater than sound. A feeling that resonates in your bones, your blood, your dreams. You understand now why these winds chose to be captured here. They weren't imprisoned. They were invited to dance. The harmony grows so complete that distinction disappears. You cannot tell where your body ends and the lighthouse begins, where your breath stops and the winds start. Everything exists in perfect crystalline unity. The converging winds wrap around you like gentle arms, lifting both your body and your breath synchronizes with the lighthouse's rhythm as cool glass breathes against your fingertips. Each pulse drawing you deeper into the tower's living heartbeat. The crystalline walls seem to recognize your presence now, their surface warming slightly beneath your touch, responding to the rhythm of your own breathing. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs cascade around you in gentle waves, their ethereal notes weaving through the chamber like invisible threads. Each tone carries a different texture, some light as spider silk, others rich as velvet curtains swaying in an evening breeze. The music isn't just heard, it's felt, resonating through your chest and bones until you become part of the lighthouse's eternal song. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender grows stronger here, as if the winds from distant meadows have finally found their way home. The scent carries memories that aren't quite yours. Glimpses of purple fields under summer skies,
of ocean spray catching afternoon light, of quiet moments when the world felt perfectly still. You realize you're no longer simply climbing the lighthouse, you're becoming part of its breath. Each inhale draws in starlight and serenity. Each exhale releases the weight of thoughts you no longer need to carry. The boundary between your breathing and the lighthouse's breathing dissolves like morning mist. The glass chambers pulse in perfect harmony with your heartbeat now, creating a rhythm that feels both ancient and eternal. Cool glass breathes against your fingertips as you steady yourself, and for a moment you understand that you've always been part of this place, this endless spiral of captured winds and crystallized dreams. Time stutters gently as you blink, and the wind patterns shift around you like a kaleidoscope of air and light. But now the reset feels different, not like repetition, but like a deeper settling into this peaceful state. Each time stutter brings you closer to complete unity with the lighthouse's breathing rhythm. The spiral stairs continue upward, but your steps have become as light as the winds themselves, carrying you toward the beacon's heart, where all thoughts dissolve into. The ascending winds wrap around you like gentle arms, lifting both your body and consciousness higher through the lighthouse's crystalline heart. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips guides you upward as each chamber releases its captured breezes in perfect harmony. The spiral staircase seems to dissolve beneath you, no longer stone but currents of air that cradle your weightless form. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs create a symphony that grows more ethereal with each level you ascend. The melodies interweave like invisible ribbons, pulling you deeper into the lighthouse's embrace. Your feet barely touch the steps now. The wandering winds themselves have become your pathway, supporting you with currents warm as summer afternoons and cool as mountain dawns. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender grows stronger here, as if you're approaching the source of all the lighthouse's collected memories. The scent carries whispers of distant shores and meadows you've never seen but somehow recognize. Each breath draws you further from the weight of ordinary thoughts, further into the lighthouse's dreaming rhythm. The glass walls pulse with increasing intensity, their breathing synchronized with your own heartbeat. Through the transparent chambers, you glimpse other winds, some silver, some golden, some shimmering with colors that have no earthly names. They dance around you in spirals, welcoming you into their eternal circulation. As you blink, time stutters gently, and the wind patterns shift like a kaleidoscope of air. The lighthouse reshapes itself around you, chambers flowing like liquid light, stairs becoming streams of captured breeze. You realize you're no longer climbing, you're being lifted, carried upward by currents that know exactly where you need to go. The boundary between your breath and the lighthouse's breath dissolves completely. You are becoming part of its living system, a consciousness woven into the fabric of wandering winds that have traveled the world to find their home in this impossible tower of glass and dreams. Higher still, the currents carry you toward a light that grows brighter with each gentle spiral, toward the beacon that the line between yourself and the wandering winds begins to blur in the most peaceful way. Your consciousness expands like ripples on still water, touching every corner of the lighthouse's crystalline chambers. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips becomes indistinguishable from your own skin, You are the lighthouse, and the lighthouse is you. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs play your heartbeat's rhythm, each note a reflection of your own pulse. The melody weaves through your thoughts, unraveling the tight knots of identity that usually define where you end and the world begins. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender fills not just your lungs but your very essence. You breathe in the lighthouse's memory, and it breathes in yours. Your hands move without conscious direction, tracing the glass walls that now feel like extensions of your own body. The captured breezes flow through you as if you've become another chamber in the tower's endless spiral. Each wind carries fragments of yourself away, while depositing pieces of distant places within your spirit. The boundaries of your physical form seem to shimmer and fade like morning mist. You are simultaneously the observer climbing the stairs and the observed structure, receiving each footstep. The lighthouse's ancient wisdom flows through your thoughts, knowledge of countless storms weathered, of ships guided to safety, of winds captured and released across centuries. As you blink, time stutters gently, and in that suspended moment, you glimpse the truth. You have always been part of this place. The lighthouse has been calling you home through every breeze you've ever felt, every moment you've paused to listen to wind through leaves or feel salt spray on your face. Your breath becomes the lighthouse's breath, your pulse the rhythm that guides the crystallized sighs through their eternal song. The spiral staircase continues upward, but you are no longer climbing, you are ascending, as naturally as warm air rises, drawn toward the beacon that awaits in the lighthouse's heart. The convergence of self and structure completes itself in perfect harmony. Your consciousness disperses like seeds on the wind, scattered but never lost, each fragment finding its place in the lighthouse's endless symphony. The cool glass breathes with your essence now, and the crystallized sighs carry your dreams into the salt, sweet air. The winds begin to carry you toward the beacon's gentle glow, where starlight waits to.
You near the lighthouse's crown, where all collected winds flow freely around a soft, pulsing beacon that draws light inward rather than casting it out. The spiral staircase curves one final time, opening into a circular chamber unlike any below. Here, the walls dissolve into pure crystalline air that shimmers with captured starlight. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips now pulses with deeper rhythm, each surface alive with the heartbeat of 1,000 gathered breezes. The beacon at the chamber center isn't made of flame or bulb, but of condensed moonbeams that swirl like liquid silver, pulling celestial light from the night sky above and weaving it into the dance of wandering winds. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs crescendo into a symphony as every breeze the lighthouse has ever captured converges here in perfect harmony. The sound wraps around you like silk, each note a breath taken by distant mountains, exhaled by forgotten seas, transformed into music that speaks directly to your soul's deepest yearning for peace. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender grows stronger here, but now carries undertones of cosmic dust and stellar rain, scents that exist only in dreams and in the space between sleeping and waking. The fragrance seems to lift your very thoughts, making them weightless as dandelion seeds ready to drift on the first gentle current. The beacon pulses brighter, and you realize it's responding to your presence, drawing not just starlight, but the luminous essence of your own consciousness into its swirling dance. Time stutters as you blink, and in that brief pause you feel yourself becoming part of the lighthouse's eternal collection, not trapped, but transformed into something as free and wandering as the winds themselves.
The crystalline chamber begins to sing with your heartbeat, and the wandering winds gather close, preparing to carry you beyond the edge of...
The beacon doesn't shine outward, but draws in moonbeams and starlight, mixing them with captured breezes. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips guides you toward the lighthouse's crown, where luminous currents spiral inward like reversed waterfalls of light. The crystallized sighs of wind chimes grow more ethereal here, their notes pulling celestial radiance down through the tower's heart. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender intensifies as stellar winds join the earthbound breezes in their eternal dance. You watch in wonder as silver moonbeams bend and curve, following the glass channels carved into the beacon's core. The light doesn't illuminate, it nourishes, feeding the captured winds with cosmic essence until they glow like liquid starlight. Each breath you take tastes of distant galaxies. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips, now warm with absorbed luminescence. The wind chimes made of crystallized sighs pulse with new harmonics as stellar energy flows through their delicate forms. Time stutters when you blink, and in that suspended moment, you see the beacon's true purpose. It's not collecting light and wind separately, it's weaving them into something new, something that exists between breath and brightness. Salt air, braided with forgotten lavender, carries hints of cosmic dust, ancient and infinite. The lighthouse has become a loom of light and air, threading starbeams through captured breezes to create fabric for dreams. Your consciousness begins to thin and expand, becoming translucent as the walls around you. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips feels like your own skin now, pulsing with the same rhythm. The wind chimes made of crystallized sighs sing your heartbeat back to you in harmonious echoes. As stellar winds lift your thoughts like dandelion seeds, you realize you're no longer climbing toward the beacon. You're becoming part of its gentle, inward-flowing light. The starlight weaves through your hair, your clothes, your very essence, until you cannot tell where the captured winds end and your own breath begins. Salt air, braided with forgotten lavender, becomes the only reality, the only truth worth remembering. And as you dissolve into the beacon's luminous embrace, you understand that this lighthouse doesn't guide travelers home. It shows them how to become light itself, weightless and eternal. The inward flowing starlight carries you deeper into its crystalline heart, where dreams and reality converge. Your thoughts become as light as air, lifted and carried by the converging currents around the beacon. The crystalline walls pulse with ethereal energy, and cool glass that breathes against your fingertips seems to dissolve at your touch. You are no longer climbing, you are floating, suspended in the lighthouse's living breath. The beacon above draws you upward with gentle magnetism. Its light doesn't blind but soothes, pulling moonbeams and starlight into its core, where they dance with the captured winds. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs grow louder here, their melody weaving through your rising consciousness like silver threads through silk. Your body feels weightless, every muscle releasing tension you didn't know you carried. The salt air, braided with forgotten lavender, grows stronger, more intoxicating, as if you're breathing the essence of 1,000 peaceful shores. Each inhale lifts you higher, each exhale dissolves another layer of earthbound worry. The lighthouse's chambers spiral below you now, their glowing levels creating a constellation of captured breezes. You realize you've become part of their eternal dance, no longer observer but participant, no longer separate but woven into the lighthouse's living tapestry. Time stutters as you blink, and suddenly you're suspended in a moment between moments. The winds around you pause, crystalline and perfect, holding you in their gentle embrace. You feel your thoughts scattering like dandelion seeds on invisible currents, each one carrying away another fragment of conscious effort. Your fingertips trail through luminous air, and the cool glass that breathes against your fingertips extends infinitely in all directions. You are becoming wind yourself, formless, free, flowing toward the beacon's heart, where all breath becomes one endless peaceful exhale. The lighthouse hums with ancient contentment, its collected winds singing your consciousness toward perfect dissolution. You surrender to the upward pull, letting the crystallized sighs carry you toward the place where thought becomes starlight mixed with memory. Your sense of self gently disperses like dandelion seeds on wind, scattered but peacefully connected to something infinite. The lighthouse's crystalline walls pulse one final time beneath your dissolving fingertips. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips, now flowing through you rather than around you. You are becoming part of the eternal wind symphony, your consciousness unraveling into threads of pure sensation. The wind chimes, made of crystallized sighs, crescendo softly as every captured breeze in the lighthouse begins to sing in perfect harmony. Your thoughts fragment and float upward, each worry transformed into a musical note that joins the tower's endless song. The distinction between your breath and the lighthouse's breath disappears completely. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender fills what remains of your awareness, not through your nose now, but through every particle of your being. You are the scent, you are the memory, you are the wind that once carried these fragrances across distant fields and endless oceans. The beacon above pulses slower, its light becoming softer, dreamier. Your scattered consciousness begins to settle like gentle snow, each piece finding its place in the lighthouse's eternal rhythm. The spiral staircase beneath you dissolves into streams of luminous mist. Time stutters one final time as you blink, but now you understand. You are the stutter. You are the pause between moments where magic lives. The lighthouse breathes you in completely, and you exhale yourself into its infinite collection of wandering winds. Your body becomes weightless as thought itself, drifting through dreams that taste of starlight and whisper secrets only sleeping minds can hear. Around you, the lighthouse's glow grows fainter, warmer, until it becomes nothing more than the gentle pulse behind your closed eyes. Sleep takes your hand, and everything else fades to perfect, endless peace. You become part of the lighthouse's endless cycle, your consciousness merging with the ancient rhythm that has pulsed here for countless centuries. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips now pulses in perfect synchrony with your own heartbeat, as if you and the tower share the same living pulse. The beacon above draws your essence upward like mist rising from warm earth. Each inhalation brings starlight streaming through your being, silver threads of cosmic breath that taste of infinite distances and forgotten constellations. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs resonate through your bones, their ethereal music now emanating from within your own chest, as if your ribs have become part of the lighthouse's crystalline structure. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender fills not just your lungs, but your very atoms, each molecule of scent weaving itself into the fabric of who you are becoming. You are no longer climbing the lighthouse. You are the lighthouse, breathing with its rhythm, singing with its captured winds, existing in its eternal moment between earth and sky. Your thoughts dissolve like sugar in warm rain, sweetening the air around you as they fade. Memory becomes irrelevant when you exist in this perpetual now, this endless breath between heartbeats. The wandering winds that once seemed separate now flow through you as naturally as blood through veins. Time stutters when you blink, but the pause feels different now. Not a reset, but a deepening, like sinking into silk. Each flutter of eyelids brings deeper integration with the tower's breathing walls, until you can no longer tell where your breath ends and the lighthouse's eternal exhalation begins. Stars pulse slower and fainter now, their light becoming part of your own luminescence, as consciousness prepares for its final gentle descent into dreams that taste of starlight and whispered lullabies that carry you toward rest. The lighthouse's wind symphony grows distant and soft, becoming a lullaby that cradles your fading consciousness. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips now feels like whispered promises, each pulse growing gentler as your awareness drifts higher. The crystallized sighs of wind chimes fade to barely audible whispers, their notes stretching like silver threads into infinite silence. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender becomes a memory of memory itself, sense that once anchored you to the world, now dissolving into pure sensation. Your body feels translucent, weightless as sea foam caught in moonbeams. The lighthouse beneath you continues its eternal breathing, but you are floating free now, carried on currents that exist beyond wind. Time stutters when you blink, but the stuttering grows softer, like a heart learning to rest. Each pause between moments stretches longer, sweeter, until the spaces between thoughts become more real than the thoughts themselves. The lighthouse's music becomes the rhythm of your own slowing breath. Below, the crystalline chambers still sing their collected songs, but they sing them for someone else now, another dreamer who will climb those spiral stairs and discover the winds that wait. You are ascending beyond chambers, beyond glass, beyond the need to capture anything at all. The beacon's light grows dim and distant, not because it's fading, but because you are becoming light itself. Your consciousness spreads thin as morning mist, touched by salt and lavender that no longer have source or destination. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips becomes the sensation of touching your own soul. And in this perfect dissolution,
As wind chimes made of crystallized sighs sing you towards sleep, you understand that the lighthouse was never separate from you at all. It was the architecture of your own deepening rest, built from breath and glass and the patient winds that carry dreamers home. The music fades to whisper, to sigh, to the sound of waves that exist only in memory, as your floating form becomes one with the night itself, drifting toward dreams that taste of starlight and endless, gentle peace.
Rest in knowing this lighthouse exists beyond sleep, and every future breeze will carry whispers from this place. The crystalline chambers continue their eternal song. Wind chimes, made of crystallized sighs, echoing through dimensions you'll forget, but never truly leave. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips becomes a memory that will surface in quiet moments. When morning air moves through your window, when evening wind stirs the trees outside your door. The lighthouse keeper of winds tends to breezes you haven't felt yet, collecting the breath of storms that won't arrive for years, gathering the gentle exhales of spring mornings decades away. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender drifts through your fading consciousness, a promise written in scent that this sanctuary of captured winds will always exist, just beyond the edge of waking. Your connection to this place transcends the boundaries of dream and reality. Every time you breathe deeply, you're drawing from the lighthouse's infinite reservoir of peace. Every gentle current that brushes your skin carries a fragment of the tower's crystalline music. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs that sing just below the threshold of hearing. The spiral stairs continue upward, even as you drift downward into rest. Each step a bridge between the world of wind and the world of sleep. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips pulses one final time. A farewell that feels like a greeting. An ending that promises return. Salt air braided with forgotten lavender becomes the signature of dreams, the calling card of a place where winds go to rest and souls go to remember what peace feels like. Time stutters gently as you blink, but now the pause feels like coming home. The lighthouse waits, patient as stone, eternal as breath, ready to welcome you back whenever the winds of sleep carry you to its crystalline shores. Your body becomes weightless as the wind itself, ready to drift toward the final chamber, where all wandering ends and perfect rest begins. Allow the wandering winds to carry you completely into rest, weightless and perfectly at peace. The lighthouse dissolves around you like morning mist, its crystalline chambers becoming memories of light. Cool glass that breathes against your fingertips grows softer, transforming into silk clouds that support your floating form. Wind chimes made of crystallized sighs fade to the gentlest whisper, a lullaby that follows you into dreams. The music becomes your heartbeat, then your breath, then the rhythm of sleep itself, drawing you deeper into its embrace. Salt air, braided with forgotten lavender, wraps around you like a familiar blanket, carrying the essence of every peaceful place you've ever imagined. The scent grows warmer, sweeter, until it becomes the fragrance of pure rest. Your body becomes weightless as thought itself, drifting through dreams that taste of starlight
The sleep clouds gather close, warm as whispered lullabies, and carry you gently toward rest. Around you, the lighthouse's winds pulse slower, fainter, until they become memory. The crystalline darkness folds like a soft curtain, cradling your breath, your bones, your quiet mind. Time no longer stutters, because time no longer matters. The wandering winds have found their home in your dreams, where they'll sing you to sleep night after night. Every gentle breeze you'll ever feel will carry whispers from this sacred place. And as the final shimmer of lighthouse light dissolves behind your eyes, sleep takes your hand, and everything else fades to peace.